Can you believe it's been almost a year? That's right. Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTix.com. A year ago, Xiaomi released their Smart Band 7, and this is the new upgrade, the Smart Band 8, which is pretty close to identical to the 7 with a few different enhancements. First of all, it comes in a totally sealed bag that you have to rip into to get it out, and of course, you know I take it out, play with it, then repackage it and unbag it or unbox it for you. So here it is, and you'll notice it's already on. Has to be on because the only way to turn these things on is to hook them to the charger. There's no on button, and pressing the screen doesn't do it. So if you turn this thing off, you better have your charging wire with you, which happens to be right here. And it's a specialized one. Look at that. 2 close pins together, magnetic couple to the back of the device. Nice and strong. It'll hold it really, really well. And of course, a USB connection. How do you get one of these? CafaGo. Thank you guys over at CafaGo for sending this one out. This is, again, the Mi Band 8. It's a 1.62-inch AMOLED screen with always-on capability and new 150 different sport modes in this one, all for a really nice low price of under $45. Got a link in the show notes for you for that, and if the price has gone up, check, and I hopefully will have a coupon for you to keep it down nice and inexpensive. So let's go through the details. First of all, in bright red, this is for those of you who actually buy it, you're going to find that this is the Chinese version. Now, it will work in English, but it has no NFC, and that was one of the big differences, that the Band 8 brought payment capability with an NFC chip inside of it. It will support English and Chinese now, and there'll be more languages updated later, but it's just coming to the market. So when you get it, you connect it to the Mi Fitness app. You need to set the region to China. That's really crazy, but it's the only way it works. If you set it to your country or to USA, it won't pair. If you want to change the band to English, you need to change your phone language to English. Once you pair it, it will pair up and it will be in English. Then you can return to your own language, it says, and the band can be kept in English. Let's move on. These are the different features. Multidimensional health management. It's got whole day heart rate, whole day blood oxygen, scientific sleep monitoring, full day pressure monitoring, respiratory training, and ladies, you got your period cycle tracking on this as well. And a concept called intelligent brightness, so it will let the device brighten up outdoors and dim down indoors. It's a sliding feel that are eye-catching, it says, with infinitely automatic brightness adjustment, accurate adaptation to environmental brightness. For me, I found it a little dim indoors, so I put it on manual and cranked it up a little bit to my own liking. But you do have that automatic brightness capability, which is rare to find on a watch or a band because it requires a sensor in there to see what the ambient light is to adjust the screen. It does it on phones, of course, easily, but watches is something else. It says quick disassembly design, has fashionable texture and so forth. Means you can pop it out of its little sheath that it's inside of and change it around to different wristbands. 150 plus sports mode, fast charging upgrade. Charging time only takes about an hour. That's something new in the Band 8. You've got 16 days of battery life and an always-on display mode that supports up to 6 days when you're using that mode. Then you got the screen, AMOLED, of course, to support the always-on display, and trendy and minimalistic appearance. And here's your overall specs. Not a whole lot there, but I do want to get into the size, which isn't mentioned here, because that's one of the differences between the two. But before we jump into that, let's take a look a little bit further, finish the unboxing. Inside the box, on the side of the box, inside the box, is a manual in Chinese, and I hope on this side in English. Oh, goodness. It's all Chinese to me. What about you? All right. Pretty much you don't need the manual. It's basic. It basically, you should remember that when you get it, you got to connect it to the power source to get it to turn on. You have to create an account with the Mi Fitness app, and you have to pair the device to it for it to work. So let's move forward into some of the capabilities of it. Like I said, it's already on. It's got the twist your wrist to see the time. There, thank you for settling down. And of course, you got different watch faces. Now, for those of you wondering, should I upgrade my 7 to the 8? Let me let you compare them. Here is the 7, and the 8 is on the left. Supposedly now, this one is just a tiny bit longer, a tiny bit wider, and a tiny bit thinner. Can you see the difference there? But the sensors, the capabilities, all the rest of it, the integrated bands, let's turn them so they're facing the same way. Sensors look a little bit different to me on the back, the way they've got them laid out. There's a little bit of highlighting. The unit itself here is integrated to the band, right? And this one is, it pops out of this case, I believe. It's kind of all integrated to it. Another interesting thing is you notice that the always-on display is pretty much black and white on the Band 8, and on the 7, it's color and brighter. And I think that's why the battery ran down a little faster on this one. So one of the things they've changed, you'll see this when we go into the watch faces, is that the watch face ambient display is different. It's more subdued, more black and white type oriented. Let's go into that one. Come here, you. And let's just switch to another one just to give you a sense of it before we go much deeper. Use this watch face. Yes. Okay. There, that timed out. And look, it's a tiny digital black and white and very soft always on display. This one, when it switches over to it, is a nice analog, brighter, and even shows your power level on it. So between the two, I actually lean more to the older one, the 7, for the always on displays. I'm not so concerned to get 2 extra hours out of 16 or 14 hours. But this is okay. It's doing the job. And in that vein, we'll put this to bed, and then we'll move on to the actual watch itself, or the band itself. A comparison between the 7 and the 8 shows that the screens are identical, the water resistance the same, notifications. NFC is not in Band 7. It is in Band 8, but not in this one that's coming out from China. When you switch it to English, there's no NFC support, so there's really no difference on that. A little bit longer battery life, custom charging port. Here's the differences, just 1.5 millimeters, a little bit and tiny bit thinner. And then, of course, it's got the same sensors and 40 more different sports in the Band 8, as if you're going to do all 150. That should be a life goal, don't you think? All right, we're going to set the 7 aside. You've seen it. I got a review up on it if you want to look at it. Let's dive deep into the Band 8, the Mi Band 8. Nice, interesting watch face there. This is one of the stock ones. When you swipe down, you get notifications sent from your phone, if you have any. When you swipe up, you're going to get into all of your apps. So over this way, and these are all customizable. These are a couple of chiclets that show you your last night's sleep time with the chart and the breakdown and all this. And you have an option to go into settings and to learn more about the topic on any of these. Heart rate takes you in there, begins working its little diode thing. I got to cover the sensors for it. It's showing you the breakout for the day with a sliding, changing in those numbers for the axis here, and shows you the last several hours. Vibrated shows me my heart rate live. You see it changing. And 52 minutes ago, it was at 94. And I can slide up and show you the different zones that I'm in. I've mostly been in light all day. And then here's your resting heart rate information and more information that you can learn more about this as well. Those are those two, and that's all you have on that screen. Here's weather in whatever city you pick. little Shenzhen, China is where these puppies are made. So I always pull that up to see how my partners over there are doing. And it's cooled down from 90 degrees right now. The air quality is excellent, it says. Here's a music player integrated in this. When you're paired to your phone and you got it all set up, you can play music. Not out of the band, mind you. There's no speaker here, but you can control the music from the watch. Here we go. This is where you can do Alipay. You set that whole thing up, and I believe this uses QR code technology. Here's Wexen Pay. You turn that on. You could set that all up. I think that's using the NFC. I don't really know about these, and I don't demo any of the payment stuff. For one, it doesn't work in my country, USA. And for two, I don't really want to get into that whole finance stuff. That's something you should explore in detail on your own. Here's some things. Do not disturb. Find your phone, and you can go into settings from here if you want. And we're back to watch face. And again, when you see in the app, those are all customizable things that you can put depending on what you want to use. We got quite a few different stock watch faces here, and then you can download some from the face store inside the app, like this one. This one I like a lot. It's a fun one that shows you the time, of course, and a bunch of other details in here, heart rate, date, and everything. So when I swipe up, I do get into all of that stuff. Here's my stats, my running, or step count, sorry, and calories burned, distance traveled, broken up throughout the day. And this is minutes of exercise, I think is what that one is. So you do get a lot of data in this watch directly. Different workouts that you can do, running, walking. There's no GPS module in it directly. Swimming supported, 5 ATM waterproof. And then you can go into all these things, like there's 40 different sports for training, 14 different dance activities you can do, 26 ball sports, and you can add and put them up here if you want to at your leisure as well. Your overall activity, I don't have any data on that, but whatever workouts you've done, it'll track all that and have them in here. Here's basic running. Here's a status. This is your training load. I mean, they're getting serious about it. Your VO2 max, your recovery time. For those of you who are really into sports, you know all about this stuff. This is a good band, good competitor to the Fitbit type bands in these Mi bands. Very much a competitor for that. Here's the heart rate. We did that already. Vitality is something new. Yay, I got one. I'm vital. Somebody thinks I'm vital. Thank you for the thumbs up and your subscription. Oh, come on, two. I know, you'll get around to it, right? No, vitality is something different. It's sort of like that pie thing they used to do, I believe. It's overall how you're doing. Light 10 minutes, I got a +1. I don't have anything for any of the others because I'm a sedentary watch reviewer, right? Anyway, you got that. You got blood oxygen in here. And there you go with the breakdown from 100 down to 94. It's jumping all around in here. You hit measure. All right, I have to start it. And come on, yeah, back again. Should be right where we are. Get my finger on it. Now I can have you peek at it. Wait a minute. Come on. Measure. 3, 2, 1. All right. I just want to show you it's red, guys. See? It's really red. It's really red. Red, as we know, is the better light than green for doing blood oxygen measurement. And I won't go through all of this stuff in detail with you. Just to let you know, it's there in all of this. And, of course, you can put that on the cards if you want to. Last night's sleep time. And we showed you all of that stuff already. This is a deeper breakdown of the information. You got deep, light, and REM, so it's monitoring your REM sleep if you set on scientific sleep. Here's your stress levels for the day. This is heart rate variability. Measure that. It's going to also, boy, it's fast telling that you're not there. It's going to use the green diode technology, I believe. The 3, 2, 1, it counts down. There we go. Which is same as heart rate, but it's measuring heart rate variability to get your stress, and it shows you your zones and your last 7 days. And again, settings and learn more if you want to get information on it. All-day monitoring or just relax reminders on this one as well. You can turn on in the settings. Then you got weather. We looked at that already. You can set up alarms. You can do the Alipay or the Wexen Pay. Then you get into main settings where your running modes can be. This is cool. This thing, you can take it out of here. You can wear it as a running mode, which is on your wrist, a pebble mode, which means you put it in your shoe, or a necklace mode, you can wear it around your neck, and you'll get different results depending on what you do. Here are the different band displays. Oh, it went fast, and that's the same as pressing and holding. I just want to take you up and show you a different steampunk one. This is another custom one that you can download from their store. And we were way down in settings, right? And we were at band displays. Then there's the overall display. You can set your brightness into auto or custom. And again, if you go into auto, it's going to automatically dim it to meet the ambient light that's around you, and custom is where you can set it specifically. There we go, that's more like it. This is fully bright, and it is nice and bright. They even have a flashlight mode on this. That is dim. Look how dim that is. Almost so dim that you couldn't even work with the watch if you were in the dark. It really can go really, really low. It's AMOLED. There's just a little sliver down there you can see, and you can't even hardly see the screen lit up. So a broad range of overall brightness. And the auto, of course, is going to set it to match the background light that's available. Let's run it in auto, see if it's bright enough for the rest of the review. You can do an auto lock on this, twist your wrist to see the time. You can schedule that between daylight hours so it doesn't annoy you at night. You can set the screen to stay on from 5 minutes up to 20 minutes. That's different than the always on display, which is time only. This is leaving the whole thing on, actually. Here's your always on display, scheduled, smart, or off. Smart is figuring it out, I guess, on its own, and scheduled is when you can set a time frame for that action to happen too. And then cover to sleep lets you just cover it. Hello? Hello? You're on. Oh, it's being obnoxious. Anyway, I thought I had it on. Now it's locking up on me. Cover to sleep is on. Let's get back to the main watch face, and now let's cover it. There, and it went into the always on display. Okay, so all of that's in here as well under the overall settings. Getting back down here. Then you have vibration, do not disturb, app notifications. If you have any that you want to push here, you can notify only when it's worn, wake the screen up to see things. A few different settings for notifications are on this one. Auto detect, get reminders to start a workout. So if you're starting to move, it can notice that and auto detect your workout and track it for you. And then your overall preferences. Wake method, you can either tap the screen or swipe up. So if you don't have the always twist your wrist to see the time on, then you can set it this way. And I have the swipe up, so at night I don't accidentally touch it and it goes on. If I want to actually light the screen up, I can slide up, and I leave the always on off, so the band is off. There's nothing on it, but to get it to work, I just swipe it up, and that's pretty cool. So that's available for us as well. Shame we have to go back from the very top after it bails out of that stuff. That's your your preferences. Then you can put in a pin. You need that, of course, for the financial stuff. You have to be able to secure the band. Your overall battery level. You've got a battery saver and optimization options in here. Pretty sophisticated for a tiny little thing. Reboot, power off, and reset the whole system. And about the band, it's the Xiaomi Smart Band 8, they're calling it. All right, let's switch over to the new app. The Mi Fitness app replaces the Zepp app that was used on the 7, which replaces the Mi Fit app, which was used on 6 and before. So they keep changing apps as quickly as they keep updating the bands. Here we go. So Mi Fitness, and formerly known as Xiaomi Wear, actually it goes way back. When you go to the Google Play Store, look for the white background with a colorful red-orange circle in it. That's the icon, thumbnail, and you get into here. Then you can set up an account When you get your account, you can pair it with the watch. Once the watch is paired, it'll automatically sync, and then you get landing into this health page. That's your main opening page. And we could dive quickly through this one. You've got your days across the top here, your step count, and your completion of your circles. See, I started a little bit yesterday. You can see how many calories, steps, and movement we've got. Nothing happens when you touch this. A tip, your wearable device doesn't count moving. Set another goal. You could set that. And I don't have any movement minutes set yet. You got your calories throughout the day, step count, and moving. Okay, so I don't have it quite fully set up yet. I only have 1 day's worth of data to show you. Here's where your workouts would be located if you log your workouts and transfer the data over here. Last night's sleep time now broken up into these different areas: deep, light, REM, and wake-ups. And they're different shades of purple. So it shows I had a couple of REM, a lot of light, and a little bit of deep with some wake-up time last night. The minutes, the heart rate throughout the night, taken, it looks like maybe every half hour or so. The average blood oxygen readings, a couple of them are kind of low, could be holding my breath, not sure on those. And an overall breathing score, everything looks good, it says, and it tells you about breathing. You can look at this on your own, basically how to improve your overall breathing. You can collapse that, and then you can learn more about all of this stuff. So that's sleep. Here's heart rate. It's showing you the zone during that particular period that the heart rate oscillated around, 67 to 108 between midnight and 12:30. No, that's daytime, between noon and 12:30 today. And this is midnight last night there. So you have all this kind of data too. Your heart rate zone information is on here. And step count. This is kind of like what we already saw in the big summary, but just broken out into separate places. Here's your calories burned, and you're moving, though those 3 are there. Standing is just, did you stand up or not during that particular half hour or so? And shows that I've got 8 hours of standing up already today. That's just standing up. I mean, some people don't even stand up, you know. Blood oxygen. Strange looking little graph, but this is how it's working across time. Goes down to about, whoops, sorry, that's my brightness control here. Display brightness, for those of you who don't know what I'm doing there. Other videos we talk about that when I accidentally touch it. It works on the Android phones and the Android watches as well. 95% is my most recent one. Here's the averages, highest and lowest, and kind of a breakout of them there. Then we go to stress, which is heart rate variability. Not giving you the detail on that. Well, this says details, but details of minutes in each one of these. Data source is from the Xiaomi Smart Band 8. If you're wearing other devices, you can switch to another device that pairs with this app, and you could get that data from there, I suppose. And then you've got your vitality score. Earn 20 more points to reach the next goal. And then here's about. Let's take a quick look at it. What is it? How is it calculated? Why is it calculated on a 7-day basis? How many points can you earn? And so forth. If you want to freeze frame that, I think it's in focus, and you could take a look at what vitality is all about. It's just another measurement now that these bands are including. Ladies, your period tracking. Here's your overall information from when you started to when it's over to all the different zones you go through. That's part of this. And of course, it can show where you are on the band as well. You put in your own weight. You can adjust that. VO2 max is calculated. I don't have any information on that, but those of you who know about it, it's available. You could do blood pressure, it says, although I didn't see a blood pressure setup in the watch directly there. And then training load too is calculated as part of the app. Okay, that's everything there. When you go to workouts, you get a map of your location, GPS from your phone, and you can begin a workout with a track on it. You go to display or your devices. It'll show you what devices you have connected. tells you how to set up basically to let the app run in the background, which you can do, but it's going to use a lot of power from your phone because it's always running, always checking for your band. That's the current face that we have on it. You can sync it, how much battery level is there. You can switch running mode to the different types. Like I said, there's the pebble mode, using it with the shoe buckle, and a necklace mode with a neck strap, different ways of wearing it. You can find out if you're having incoming phone calls. Here's where you set up all the details for your heart rate. You can do it as frequently as every minute, but I've noticed it's not really displaying it every minute, so I probably would just go with every 30 minutes or maybe every 10 minutes, get a little longer battery life out of it. It will let you know if you have irregular heartbeat alert and where to wear it on your arm. For heartbeat, then for sleep, you can do the breathing score, which is something new in beta, and the advanced monitoring that includes REM sleep. Any of these that you turn these things off is going to give you longer battery life. All-day tracking, an alert if it goes below 85, and that's settable, whatever you'd like to make it. And then stress, of course, all-day monitoring, and there's a relax reminder that if you've been above 80 for quite a long time, it's going to coax you to try to relax, which is good. Sometimes stress catches up with you and you don't even realize it. Start in time, do not disturb for lunchtime, and reminding you to stand up. Your overall stats and calorie steps and moving settings you can do for those, the vitality score, you can set all that stuff up. So it's a pretty robust app. Alarms, events, weather, world clock you even have on here, where you can set up different cities and show that when you get into the app. Camera, widgets, sorting your apps, and so forth. Then your overall profile, you can set up competition, you can monitor habits. This is all in Chinese, but you have these different things that you can play and learn about, I suppose. You've got third-party data with Zepp Life, WeChat, and Alipay on this one. And then these other things too, including other settings for notifications, connections, and your profile character if you want to set your own character, or of course sign out from the app as well. So pretty much that's the app. Now I want to finish up with our overall list of activities and things in here, because we'd worked our way down to settings and looked at the settings, but there's one more called More, and it's got a lot more. It's got events. You can turn on events in the app. It's got alerts that you can set, which are different than alarms. You've got the breathing exercise, inhale, exhale activity with vibration. Ladies, there's where you are in your cycle. You can record when another cycle starts and update that in the app directly. You've got a stopwatch in this one, and it appears it runs in the background. Yep, see, it's still going. You got the music player, find your phone. There's the world clock information that you set up in the app, and it'll show you in here. You can silence the phone, and then you can use it as a remote camera, of course, for taking pictures using the band to actually trigger the picture from your phone. You got timers, countdown timers that you can set. And here's a really bright flashlight. Whoa! See how the background is all dimming down because this thing is so bright. It's really, really nice. I probably would set that up to be at the top of my list to be able to use it for that. Anything after flashlight? Focus. When you go into focus, it's going to let you do a countdown and focus. Yeah, give it a try. See what it does for your life, if it changes it some way or another. And that is it in here. We were in all the settings. We looked through all of that stuff, right? System and about the band. Yeah. And then you're back to the overall watch faces. Oh, let me switch back to the app, the phone app again to show you some more faces. Here we go. We're in the devices again, and manage the band. Here you go. Manage the band displays. You have the displays that you have installed here. There's the stock ones, and then there's the ones that you put in. And these three are additions that I've added, and I haven't run out. So all of these are available on the band without having to download a new one each time. You go to online, here are the different categories and different bands on here. And there's just tons and tons of them. There really are. They just go on forever. And they're really well designed, too. In fact, if you like something that's kind of horizontal, like this, we can go in here. This shows you what its always on display would look like. I can say apply, and it doesn't really take too terribly long. I'll be back when it's done. Here we go, almost fully installed, and boom, applied successfully. Should look like that. And there it is. So if I'm driving or riding a bicycle, I could look at the display this way, and there's the always on. And of course, you can change it to anyone you want to directly from here or from the watch itself. So I can switch over to simplicity and apply it. Just a second. There you go. And there's the always on display. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. And this is kind of an analog one that's used on a lot of them as well. And any of them that you want to see, you just simply tap on it. It's going to show you what the always on display will look like in comparison. And of course, any of the ones you want to install, you'll see that as well. A lot of the digital ones look like this as well. Okay, I think that covers pretty much everything in the device on the different bands. And of course, everything else that we talked about. So where can you get this? As I get pretty hoarse, I've been going for a while. You can get it from Kafago. Kafago has sent us the Xiaomi Mi Band 8 Smart Bracelet at under $45. It's a winner of a band if you like to work with a sports band. Again, it's a special China version that works with Chinese and English. If you buy this one, you're going to need to set it in the region for China, just so that it'll pair properly with the app. And then after that, of course, it'll pick up the language from your phone if it's English. And when they release other languages, it should automatically adjust as well. But if you're working in either Chinese or English, this is a good one for you to get, but you got to be careful setting it up. That's it for today, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.